The difference of opinion about Turkey's economic policies between the president and the government, and also within the government itself, is deepening. After President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan's statement last week demanding interest rate cuts, it was observed that the difference of opinion was not limited to monetary policies, but also spread to several main areas. The central bank decided on the interest rate cut yesterday, but discussions will apparently continue. After Erdoğan's statement, starting with Economy Minister Nihat Zeybekçi, a couple of cabinet ministers said a higher dose of interest rate cuts should be implemented. After the cabinet meeting held at the presidential palace on January 19, Deputy Prime Minister Bülent Arınç directly said that the cabinet wants the central bank to cut interest rates. However, at least Deputy Prime Minister Ali Babacan or Finance Minister Mehmet Şimşek should instead have said, the central bank should decide itself. We don't know whether Babacan or Şimşek spoke to Erdoğan as determinately as they speak to the public, but they have continued to give messages that the central bank should be independent. The differences of opinion on the central bank's independence and interest rates will not come to an end with this latest decision, because Babacan and the central bank insist on making cautious decisions on interest rates depending on developments in the global economy, maintaining economic stability and looking out for equilibriums. On the other hand, President Erdoğan and the cabinet ministers who repeat whatever he says constantly reiterate that there should be interest rate cuts absolutely and rapidly. The impression in the public is that regardless of how much the central bank cuts, such demands will keep coming. Difference in principle politics. Actually, the difference of opinion between the president and Babacan is not only on interest rates, but also on the need for change in economic policies, on the need to restructure the economy, and on the topic of increasing the capacity of growth based on industry. The division on such fundamental topics as these is quite deep. It has been observed that Babacan has convinced Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu on these issues, so it could be said that the clash is between the president and the government. But, in practicality, it does not happen in this way. This is because a number of cabinet ministers, regardless of the Prime Minister's stance, simply make statements reinforcing whatever the President says. Recently, when the taxing of earnings from property was in question, in relation to Davutoğlu's transparency package, news spread that Erdoğan became very angry. It is rumored that this anger is actually much higher than previously thought, that the President and his close aides are very angry at Babacan and Şimşek, and that they loudly expressed this rage behind closed doors. I think Babacan and his team are working to save the future of Turkey's economy with contemporary economy politics focusing on institutionalization with structural measures. The President, on the other hand, wants the continuation of policies based on current profits and the construction industry. It is clear that they will be keen to camouflage this difference of opinion until the elections, but the realities have become too obvious to hide.